Good morning, dear Scorpio. How are you? Welcome. I hope you are doing very, very well, Scorpio. Let's see how your energies are going to be at this moment so that you can use them to your advantage and be able to see a situation from a new point of view. This is a general reading. Take what resonates, and it applies to everyone who has Sun, Ascendant, Moon, or Venus in the sign of Scorpio. I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Remember to activate all the bells so you can get notifications for the new videos. And if you want, you can follow me on my other TikTok and Instagram accounts where I will be uploading new content for all of you. Let's channel a message for the sign of Scorpio for this moment. Let's see what we have here. We have the Empress, we have the Two of Swords, and we have the Fool. The Tower. Something to decide, something to see that maybe isn't being seen or is being ignored. A decision that is very connected to the emotional side, I feel, not to... It could be related. Let's see where the reading goes, right? But here we have situations. It could be related to your social environment, not just a romantic relationship, a friendship, but also something very connected to creativity, right? You can feel the creativity there, around there. You're going through a time where there's kind of a lack of inspiration, or you feel like there's a block in your creativity, right? Right? There's a decision to be made here. I can feel it. It has to do with the emotional side, the area of relationships. What is it that's being denied here, or that's being covered up, or not being seen in the emotional area? I mean, what is it that you've seen, that information, or maybe something you've read or heard? I need to decide something with this person and tell them, but I don't. Instead, I keep it to myself, deny, and repress it. Because there's a revelation, there's evidence that something strong has been set in motion. It could be that they're going through some kind of test on the emotional level, right? Let's see how strong the bond is, right? Let's see how those foundations are, how those structures are, the energy. In this case, it's not talking about a breakup or ending a bond, but rather about transformation, about change, about something in the dynamic of the bond or the way you relate to that person as well, to connect yourself. It has to change, right? This change comes from outside. The thing is, if there's resistance and denial here, the change, the transformation starts to generate. It's like creating sparks, right? What causes resistance starts to create sparks, you know? If I see it as evolution here, there's a kind of beginning of liberation, of getting rid of those doubts, those indecisions, or if there are any concerns. Not being defensive either, trying to see what needs to change or what should change in the relationship. Okay? There's kind of an invitation to free yourself from an idea, from a way of thinking, to move forward with a dialogue. Maybe if this isn't being kept inside, if it's being repressed, if it's not being said, okay, but we need a little more information. Let's see what else we have. Let's see if this reading clarifies where it's going, where it's headed. Scorpio. Let's take. 3 more arcana, Scorpio. Here you have the 4 of Wands, we have the 7 of Cups, we have the 2 of Wands, and here we have the King of Pentacles. Well. Yes, let's see, it's not about that. That's why I said it's not about a breakup. It's about this. I feel it more like what feelings are being denied with a person? Because everything is indicating that something could start here, like starting a connection, for example, in some cases, or a new stage in an existing relationship. I feel that what is starting, that's why I say, what is being repressed? What is it that was being told to us? Because I feel that with this person, there's a really strong sense of hope. There's an ideal, there's a dream of enjoying the relationship, of enjoying being together. The truth is that this energy is looking good because it's not just staying as a dream, it's actually coming down to earth. This is like making a wish you've had in your love life come true. In other words, it's manifesting. I've attracted it. There's a bond. If you're already in a relationship, the bond can be renewed, it can be updated, because there are energies here about leaving, like leaving what's familiar, leaving the past behind, stepping out of what's known, and starting to move forward. This is also about freeing yourself, also giving freedom to the other person, finding new activities, new experiences, starting to fulfill those dreams that the couple has had for a long time. And maybe at some point they hadn't come true because they hadn't allowed themselves to do so. So I see a very favorable energy. What is it that you had dreamed of or longed for in terms of your feelings or as a couple? Now you can manifest it. Now you can give it shape. Start to release those desires. Start to release those desires of the soul. And also start not to keep them to yourself, not to deny them. To allow yourself to express yourself in a new way, to allow that bond and that relationship to change, to be updated. So, what was it that was being denied? What desire were you denying that now can be manifested, huh? Let's see what else we have. That's why I say big decisions are coming, decisions of liberation. A Scorpio who is releasing something that was kept inside, a Scorpio who is letting go of something that maybe was repressed, that he wasn't letting out. For example, if this isn't about love, it's about creativity. If you felt like you had a lot of potential, like, okay, I have great ideas, but I don't know how to channel them. What's the goal? Patience, since it meant letting go. It's also about allowing yourself, letting your creativity flow and getting rid of prejudices or limits to new things. What might other people think if you express yourself this way? If you start to let that energy flow, that creative energy, it's like getting rid of, freeing yourself from a bunch of complexes or energies that were stuck in your mind, limiting the development of something, whether it's on the emotional level or in terms of creativity. Is this also like a Scorpio becoming an artist? Doesn't it seem super nowadays? It's the liberation from your illusions, not from your desires, from your inspiration. There's a mind that's very rich in creativity and images. There are great ideas, and it's time to start releasing them. Scorpio, do we have the Queen of Wands here? Six of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles or coins? The Five of Pentacles? Well, Scorpio, this has to do with being able to overcome or not overcome some fear, but above all, an insecurity. Whether it's about showing yourself in a certain way, going after what you want, feeling insecure about what you like, what gives you pleasure, what attracts you. So what I feel is that many of you, Scorpio, are at a moment where you're starting to claim that power. starting to awaken it, to connect with that power of attraction, with that magnetism. You're starting to gain a lot of confidence here, a strong presence, trust, especially in yourselves, and leaving behind those insecurities. Maybe even that fear of rejection. When I talk about fear of rejection, this could have come from childhood. There's an issue here that has its roots in the past, but you're no longer the people from that past. This feels like healing something very important too. So I feel like you're in a great moment where you shouldn't block those desires you have. Don't block that dream. Don't block that hope. Because of prejudice, because of fear of moving forward or saying, I have a great idea and I want to set it free. I want to make the most of it. I feel like it could work really well, or that this project could also work really well. I'm no longer afraid to invest in this or move forward with this. I trust myself. I trust my inner tools. I trust my potential. And I transcend. I transcend. Any kind of pain or wound that is lodged in your past that has actually surfaced from your past. Okay. Let's see what we've got, Scorpio, in the Oracle. Let's see which totem will be accompanying you at this moment. You have the Exaring serpent, and the serpent grants you the gift of letting go and transmuting the Great Spirit. It asks you to shed your skins, to leave behind obsolete and limiting beliefs, and to open yourself to the new. You possess the gift of surviving and strengthening yourself through extreme situations. Use your innate power of change and adaptation. Let go of grudges and connect with your present. It's time to forgive and to forgive yourself. Dear Scorpio, this is what we have seen for all of you. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you here next time.